Welcome back to the amazing episode of the Pokemon Go PvP podcast. Guys, I have an amazing content creator. Not only he's an amazing streamer, but he's also an amazing player in PvP, and so far every season have reached rank 10, and now he's going strong in this season as well. Already during this season at the beginning, he got up to the top of the leaderboard and he's staying there. And I'm so happy to pick his brain because I just want to be better at PvP. And I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you are too. So guys, sit down, get a notebook and enjoy because Thomas is gonna give you some awesome advice on how to get better. Thomas, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. And let me just say right up front that you're one of the most entertaining streamers out there that I've been watching. And that's why as soon as I saw you playing today, I was like, all right, we're going to have you on the podcast. So thank you for coming on.
Daniel, appreciate it. It's a very, very nice compliment. Thank you for having me on the podcast. I've watched a couple episodes and I think you do a great job. So it's good to be here. And thanks everyone that's listening.
Thank you, appreciate it. I always love to hear when you guys tell me that, oh yeah, I did see that podcast or I heard about it. It helps us a lot, to create more content and have awesome guests like you. So before we get started, I just wanted to ask the main question that how does someone like you get into Pokemon Go and basically get started with not only playing, but also getting into streaming?
Yeah, I started Pokemon at a young age, at like 7. And I think there was some time when Pearl came out, so I'm still pretty young. But I played Pokemon for like my whole life. I think I took a little break in my teenage years, but then Pokemon Go launched, and I was like, this game is perfect. I already liked walking outside. I like cycling, so I thought, I'm gonna download this app. I'm gonna make my walks even more fun, and well, it really did. I got hooked immediately. On the grind, in 2016 we were all we could do was catch Pokemon, but I was hooked. And but one thing I always missed was a battle system. And when that came out in was 2019 or 28, I don't know. Anyway, when it came out, I hopped on immediately, started battling my friends, and it was just great. So and then Silph came around. Our first real competitive battling system. My local community organized a tournament, and well, just battling with the players there was a great experience. Not only just because the battles were fun, but also because the community the community feeling is just great. And then how I got into streaming, I was with the whole Corona situation, we're stuck at home, and I looked for a kind of a social hobby to replace that. Usually I went to a lot of raids and you get a lot of social interaction there, and I was kind of missing that. So Twitch kind of helped fill that gap because I can just talk with everyone there, and that's what I really love about it.
The PvP completely changed everything. In 2019, when it came out, I think it entirely changed the game, and it created a new not just content creators jumped on it and create content daily, just like you, but it just entirely changed the game. So once the PvP came out, what did you experience different in the game? Do you think that it created like an extra intention for people to play, and then more people came back into it, or how did it change?
For me, it definitely gave me more motivation to play. I had already hit level 40. I had already caught like 100,000 Pokemon. So the game was kind of over for me. I was playing kind of casual until PvP came out, and then PvP came out, and I got hooked, and it gave me a lot of motivation to grind, get the Pokemon I needed to PvP. Everything I do now is for PvP, and I know a lot of players that are the same way, that just grind just for their PvP Pokemon, pretty much.
Yeah, it's exactly anything that I do, or any community day or anything happens, I'm always like, all right, how can I use this for PvP? So that's my whole mindset with the game works as well. So it's cool to hear that that's how you do. So how would you describe like a regular day for you with Pokemon Go in a mindset of performing for Go Battle League and Silph Arena?
I'm not sure I understand the question completely. You mean like how I schedule my grinding and like playing sessions, or?
Yeah, so basically like how would like a normal day go for you for like let's say like just a regular day, so people would understand that what it's like to be you in a way that, let's say, you're performing high in Go Battle League and Silph Arena and create content. So just like a normal day walk through that, all right, in the morning, let's say you're grinding for X and X, you go for Stardust, you go for that and that, or whatever it is. Just like basically just walk us through it, and then maybe the people who are listening might able to pick up something that, all right, maybe I should do that. That's a smart idea. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah. I think one thing I always try to do is use my time as efficiently as possible. So I'll go when I like have to answer some emails, maybe for school or something or whatever. I'll go out. I'll go walk around with my gotcha on and answer the emails. If I have to maybe learn some, there's some. I actually there was back when I was in high school. I had to learn for an English test, and also I put on my Go Plus. I just walked around, learning all the words, grinding Stardust. So just use my time very, very effectively, and then when I come home, I can grind the content easily.
Yeah, the gotcha changes everything. So guys, if you don't have a gotcha, you need to get one, because when I did the math on it every day, just by turning it on for 1 hour, literally, and if it's your first day with a star piece, for example, you add additional between 5 to 10,000 Stardust, literally just additional 1 hour of you just turning it on, especially if you're in a populated area. So if you go for a walk and all that, it just changes everything. So what would you say, like, let's say, how did you do last season? And compared to last season, how do you feel about this season in Go Battle League?
Last season, I did pretty okay. I reached rank 10. I got quite high on the leaderboards. This season is a bit more tough. Well, for one, at the start of the season, we had a lot of issues with desync, with being able to swap during charge moves, and that just always makes it harder to be consistent, especially in leagues like Great League or Ultra League, where being accurate with your timing is so important. So that was rough to deal with, and now the issues are luckily resolved. But we're in Master League, and Master League has never been my league. So I'm kind of tanking right now, but that's all right. In a week or so, we'll have Great League back, and I'll probably make it to rank 10 again. I'm confident I can reach it.
I'm glad that you said that too, because I guarantee you that most of our listeners, including myself as well, do not like or not doing well in Premier or Master because, for certain reasons, and it's super expensive. But as far as what's your favorite league? What was it last season and this season? Is it the same?
It's always Great League. Well, maybe Ultra Premier comes really close, to be honest. I thought the meta was great. Maybe, but not as great as Great League. But it might also be because I have more expertise in Great League. I know a lot of the matchups, so I really know my way around it, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I think, and Great League is way cheaper than, of course, even Ultra. Ultra can get really expensive very quickly.
Yeah.
But what was your favorite line last season, and what was it this season?
Last season, I really liked Azumarill, Marowak, Sableye in Great League. That was my bread and butter. I got to rank 2 with that lineup in the first 2 weeks of Great League last season. And this season, I really like Abomasnow, Azumarill, Sableye. Pretty similar lineup, but different plays out a little bit differently.
Yeah, I so many people swapped out to Abomasnow once they get that upgrade. But no, both of those teams are really good, and Zionic too. I think he featured both of the teams, and then, well, at the end of the season, he said, all right, this is what I've been using, and I gained so many points with this. And I don't know, he might even did a shout out in one of the videos to you because you used that team, or I don't even know, did you create that team or you used that team?
I did, yeah. And Zionic was using it for a while in secret. And he messaged me like every couple of days, like, "Wow, man, I got another 5-0 with your team. Wow!" And then he made the video. He had like a 26 win streak or something. I don't know, something crazy. And he did so well with it. And the video did amazing. So and he gave me a shout out, which was really nice.
Yeah, and after that team was over, at least for that part of the season, because everyone was building anti-meta teams anti-that team, I should say.
Yeah. But you still see it sometimes.
Yep. And but now you know. But as soon as you see the Pokemons, you're like, all right, this is what's in the back. It's almost like that. Yeah. And what do you think about, or what are you running right now for Premier Cup that you have seen some success with it?
Man, Premier has been rough. There's been a couple teams I like. I liked Togekiss Double Ground with Swampert and Garchomp as ground types. I had some success with that. Today I ran a team of a friend of mine. He's called Inadequate. You might see him on the leaderboard sometimes. He runs Snorlax, Garchomp, Metagross, and I used it today and it was pretty solid as well. So that's definitely a lineup I would recommend.
That's the Garchomp is just being so solid right now because there are so many people using double steel teams and everything. So that's definitely good to add on. And Snorlax is just always a big slob, always perform just like this, straight.
Yeah, there's a lot of very nice neutral matchups.
Yeah, for sure. And so right now, I guess we can't use megas in PvP yet. And have you tested any of the megas yet or no?
I haven't done a single mega raid. The feature doesn't really interest me so far.
No, I got it. I just had to do it just to see what it is. But even when I did the PvP, I don't think the actual statistics are synced up for what it's supposed to be for a mega in the PvP. So when I actually battled, I didn't see the differences. For example, I lost CMP ties against Pokemon that I knew for a fact had way lower than a Mega Beedrill, for example. So that was kind of annoying. So I was like, all right, I guess it just looks like a Mega, but doesn't act like a Mega.
Yeah, in Great League and Ultra League, the Megas are kind of acting weird stats-wise. It seems like they have way higher stats than they're supposed to have, but it doesn't really work with CMP for some reason. And then in the Masters, like some of them are just completely broken. Like Charizard Y just has insane stats. And
I saw that. I saw somebody using it, and I was like, "Wow, it's a monster." So, what do you think if you'd able to change or make adjustment to it? What would you change in the system if you have any ideas on it for mega raiding and PvP?
I think for one, like if you wanna do consistent mega evolutions, you have to raid like a lot of mega raids, and ideally it would not be pay to win, in my opinion. So I would like it if you either got more energy from a mega raid, or if you once you unlock a mega, you can keep mega evolving it, at least in PvP. And what I would like in PvP is I think it's kind of boring right now how it's just a mega when you send it into the battle. I think it would be more fun if you could mega evolve it during the battle, and it would stay mega either until you switch it out or it dies, or maybe for like a certain period of time. I think that would add a layer of strategy to the mega evolution that it currently doesn't really have, and I would really enjoy that.
Man, can you imagine that? How big of a change the PvP community would go through if it could actually evolve during the matches, and how would it change? That would be pretty interesting to see and experience. How would it go? That's a good idea. I like it. And as far as for what do you think for end season game? What you gonna do? Are you gonna go back to Great League and try to grind it out to get to rank 10, or which league are you gonna pick?
I'll probably start with Great League again. I'm really looking forward to it. I have some cool lines in mind again. But I might also switch it up a little bit and try out some Ultra Premier again as well, because that's also a really fun meta. And we're gonna, we're gonna have a week of Great League now, and then we're gonna have 2 more weeks of Great League. So I might as well make use of this 1 week and also do some Ultra Premier.
Which reminds me, do you know anything about the Fly Cup yet, or we just still don't know anything?
Man, I think everyone at Niantic just forgot about the Flying Cup, because they made the initial announcement, and after that, not a word. So yeah, I don't know anything.
Yeah, I thought it would come during Great League or something. So maybe when they bring it back in, they might just turn it on and be like, "Hey, here's Fly Cup. These are the rules." But yeah, it completely disappeared, just like you said.
Yeah, that would make sense. Maybe it will come when all 4 leagues are, or all 3 leagues are there. Originally I thought it would be like a 1-day event or like a 3-hour event, just like the Merrill Day, like just a Flying Cup day. I don't know, but it doesn't seem to be happening.
That good thing you brought it up, because that reminds me. What do you think about? So what I was thinking is that right now Go Battle League is just like a leaderboard, right? So there's nothing really besides, all right, I'm on the leaderboard, and if you won, maybe you got lucky that the last day of the Go Battle League season you were like number one, and then by 10 p.m. you stayed number one when it updates. But that's it. You don't get anything extra. You don't get nothing and all that. So what I'm thinking, and I want to ask your opinion on this, is that what do you think do you think they ever will change it? Well, probably will, but do you think, and what would you like to see? Like, do you think there will be a playoff? Like maybe the top, whatever, 50 or 10 players will have an actual playoff, and then they're gonna have different matches, and there will be an actual champion and different rewards for each people. Do you see that happening, or would you like to see something like that in the future?
That sounds really cool. I would love to see that. I don't really see it happening at the moment. It doesn't seem like Niantic is that interested in organizing events like that. But it would definitely be fun, because I agree, the leaderboard right now, the rankings are so like volatile. They change all the time. Like you can drop 100 points in one set and you're off the leaderboard, or in two sets. So yeah, it would make sense to just like let the top 50, top 100 battle it out, find out who the ultimate champion is. It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and just about the leaderboard, when it first came out, I was like, all right, it's great. But now we had it for 2 seasons, basically, right? It's going to be the third now soon for the leaderboard. So I was like, all right, you guys should probably tweak it a little bit, because it's literally look like just like somebody just put it together on a Wix website or something, and like, here, slap it together. You guys have a leaderboard, go play. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing really to it. So it's cool that it's there, but it's still not doing anything. And so as far as for Silph Arena, what do you think about this next season? And do you plan on anything, like, are you going hardcore for this next Silph season?
I am very excited for the next Silph season. I kind of was a bit burned out the final 2 months of season 2, mainly because of all the technical issues with the game. But now that they are resolved, I am very excited for Silph season 3. I'll probably take it a bit easier than the last couple seasons. I'm going into my final semester of university, so I have other things to focus on. But I'll definitely play a lot of Silph.
Awesome, and that also reminds me, where are you originally from?
I'm from the Netherlands, in a city called Rotterdam. You might have heard of it.
Yep, definitely. I'm from Europe too, also, so of course I heard it. But that's awesome. And how did you decide to start streaming? All of a sudden everything online, of course. And then I assume, what do you think? Most of your audience from the US or from a different side of the world, or where do you see them streaming from?
I started streaming mainly because I just looked for something social to do, and well, with Corona going on, like you can't really do much social things, so going online streaming seemed like a good idea. I was already quite active in like King's Chat or when Valerash was streaming or Arrow was streaming. I would be in the chat just chatting with them. So I thought, why not try it out? When I originally started, I thought I was gonna get like 5 viewers or something, but I'd be fine with that. And then somehow it blew up, so it was great to see. And I think most of my viewers are from America. It seems like Twitch is just way more popular with Americans than with Europeans or Asian people.
Yeah, that makes lots of sense. And I think Pokemon Go is also more populated here in the US. And what I wanted to ask you also is that, so what do you think as far as for the next season? Do you think we would possibly see additional changes that they might make, or you think it's going to be just like what we have been experiencing? Maybe the reward's going to change, or they're just going to launch all these new things? Or what do you hope for, and what would you like to see?
I don't think they'll change much. What I hope to see is a little change to the ranking algorithm, maybe, because right now it's very frustrating to rank up, especially if you're one of those guys that's pushing hard and you're at the top of the leaderboard. It takes like 30 minutes to an hour to find a match sometimes. And that's just awful. So I think that definitely needs to change, and I hope they change that. That will be my main thing, actually.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And then the one other thing, and also not to mention that you can also, just like you mentioned before, just like this, you can get off the leaderboard too if you have a bad day. And then you might not get up just as quick as you got down. So that's, especially this season, I think it changed, I feel like. But what I wanted to also see is that what do you think about possibly in the future, not saying this year, not saying next year, maybe very down the road, but in the future eventually, do you think Pokemon Go would ever go into esports?
I think it definitely has potential. We've seen, like, if you watch the Silph Arena World Championships this weekend, we had like 5K viewers across Twitch, YouTube, in the different languages, and that's for a community-created tournament. I'd say that's quite a lot, especially considering there was a trading card tournament going on the actual Pokemon channel, and Silph Arena rated that channel, and they like doubled their viewers, which is quite amazing. So I definitely see the potential, but there's a lot of issues, inconsistencies that need to be fixed first. Like you can't have a game lag in the middle of the finals of a $100,000 tournament or something. That would be really bad.
That reminds me, the what do you call it? League of Legends had it once when they first started out. I've seen it, but they had this hundreds of thousands of dollars prize, and the main event they lagged out.
Oh,
so
man.
completely, they had to like cancel the whole thing and restart it on another day because they just couldn't fix it and bring it back up. So I hope that Pokemon Go, the reason I bring this up, seen it and they learn from it, and they're gonna build like maybe a local server for the actual in-person tournament, so there is no chance of messing up or lag or connectivity issues and that kind of stuff, you know. Because I think, did you watch the one with Poke AK and King? That was
I did. The viewers, it was crazy.
Yeah,
They had more viewers than the finals of the VGC tournament.
exactly,
Which is insane. They must have noticed that.
Exactly. You took my words. Yeah. So exactly. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, they had to realize that there is a huge potential to this, and if they would bring it up, and I mean, they see Silph Arena, so if they would take Silph, bring it into actual Pokemon Go, and make it at events just like they did that one, I think it would be up here already. And then they would focus on it. The only reason, if you think about it, and that's why I try to tell people to be patient, because the only reason I don't think they really focus on it, because just like you said, I mean, how many people watch it, which is a lot in PvP community, but it's self-created. I would say the community created it. But yes, there's like, if you Google it, 100 and I think it was 47 million active players on Pokemon Go, like the actual app, who are actually using it like daily and by statistics. So, but how many of them is actually into the PvP community? Probably, I would say maybe, I don't know, maybe 50,000 or something like that. And maybe that's too high. You know what I mean?
It's a relatively small small community of PvPers compared to the total player base. But I think if Niantic would organize their own tournaments, they would advertise it in the app itself, on their social media. They would stream it, and they would really showcase PvP. They would show how much skill it takes, how much fun it would be. It would grow for sure.
Yeah, it definitely has a potential. So I'm happy that you feel the same way. And so far, almost anybody that I asked on the podcast basically had the same thinking about it. And I just hope that Pokemon Go or Niantic actually maybe somehow sees that all the PvP community thinks that it has the potential, and they probably see it too. So I'm not worried. It's just going to take a little time to, fix all the issues that is making us angry. So what would be like one thing that, let's say, if you would have to start over, let's say tomorrow you lost, hope this never happens, by the way, before I say it out loud, but let's say tomorrow you wake up and all of your accounts were erased. I'm talking about Pokemon, not online or anything like that. So Pokemon Go, let's say you just start from zero. Like what, and you want to start, so don't say you wouldn't start. Just start with, you want to start over. What would you do if you would have to start from absolute zero?
Oh man, that will be awful. I think for sure you gotta grind dust. That's the first thing. Get on my bike, make some rounds, You also gotta get to level 40 quickly because you need an Azumarill, you know? You need a Sableye. Those need to be like almost level 40. So I'd go on Pokemon Go Friends, the subreddit, get a bunch of friends, level them to Ultra Friends as quickly as I can, get as much XP as I can as quickly as possible, and just try to grind it out. Because I need those Pokemon.
Yeah, I thought of it a few times that if you'd have to start over, I'm like, oh man, it's such a hustle. But if you actually, just like you said, you can only do what, 10 gifts a day, right? Or 20 now, I think.
You can send like 100 and open 20. So
okay, so actually you can level up pretty quickly. You can probably get to level 40 in like what, 3 months? I'm thinking at this point, if you hit everything.
With friends, it's pretty easy to hit level 40 in a couple months. Especially if I live on 3 stops, so I have it easy with gifts.
Yeah, the only thing is the dust. You have to hustle for the dust to be able to max out Azumarill and everything that you need. Yeah.
No, I have a good local community. Every time I ask for like a legacy or a Pokemon, they always come through.
That's
usually
awesome.
I got my legacy. Usually if they have a legacy, I get it almost for free, which is awesome. So I can probably hustle some PvP months together for my local community.
And so that's the other thing. Yes. So the good thing you brought it up. So for people who don't have the legacy moves, what would you recommend for them to do? You basically just said it, but what would you recommend to someone who's listening and maybe have never heard of Reddit or Discord or anything like that, but they don't have a community day Pokemon, like let's say Swampert? How would you go about getting one?
You just have to reach out to either your own local community or local communities near you. So yeah, just find your nearest Facebook group, Discord group, Telegram group, whatever, and just try to ask for trades there. And always try to be fair with your trades. That's also important.
Yeah, it's a good point because I didn't have anything either when I started back on, so I had to do that. But luckily, in my community, I have actually Linden Ryu and SPTS Chief too, who actually just won, the words.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
those are some great guys.
Exactly. So I learned everything from them, and then they basically reach out to me, hey, do you have this with the community day move? I can trade it to you, and I was like, all right, let's do it. So that's awesome. I feel really blessed that they are here in this community. But as far as for Stardust grind. So do you have like any secrets or any recommendations or anything that you do to able to get more Stardust than usual that you could share with the audience?
Yeah, I like I said earlier in the interview, I try to play as efficiently as possible. So I always have my gotcha on. I'll take frequent walks. And usually if I really want to grind dust, I go on my bike and I cycle around with my gotcha on, and I put my phone on my bike, and I can catch that way. I think this doesn't really apply to people in America because cycling there is kind of dangerous, I think, especially if you're in a busy city. But here in the Netherlands, we have a lot of cycling roads, which make it quite safe to cycle around with your phone.
I did that a few times just to see, and then it's awesome because your hatch eggs are also super quick, because if you go with the right speed, it's just perfect. But as far as for like a new player, so if a new player who have never PvP'd before, what would you recommend, let's say, to start out? Should they pick a single team? They learn everything about it or something, and they just stick with that team through the whole season? Or should they experience with different teams? Or how would you go about it if you're a new player and you just want to start out in PvP?
If you're a new player, definitely pick one team and learn all the ins and outs. That's the best way you're gonna learn, and that's also a good way to get some extra dust for your next major investment. Once you have something, once you have your eye on something, maybe you've been beaten multiple times by that Sableye from your opponent, and you're really eyeing on that. You can build it once you have the dust.
Yeah, that's a good point, because when I first started out, I would just try everything, and that did not work at all whatsoever. So I'm glad you pointed it out. Where could people get in touch with you, and what's your schedule like on stream, and where can they find you?
People can reach out to me on Twitter. It's ThoTechtical. And same as my stream, twitch.tv/ThoTechtical. I stream usually every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at around 19:15 Central European time. That's around noon Central time in America. Yeah, that's about it. And sometimes I do streams on the weekend in the early morning in America.
That's awesome. And guys, if you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. I will link it in below, and then we'll link it everywhere so you can actually see it, because his streams are not only entertaining, but actually you know what you're doing. So way more than I am. So it's interesting to go, because I have my notebook. It's actually on my table that I actually just pull out. And then while you're playing, for example, I'm making notes that what to do or what not to do, because luckily when you make a mistake, you actually say what you did wrong. So it's so easy to learn, you know, to actually how to do it the next time. So I appreciate that
awesome.
you're actually doing that.
That's awesome. I mean, that's the best way. That's also a really good way to learn. You know, you only have like 5 GBL sets yourself. That's not really, I mean, it's quite a bit, but it's not enough if you want to learn quick. So, I mean, that's a good strategy to get good fast.
Yeah. One last thing I wanted to ask you, actually, because Zionik talks about this all the time, and then I think about it all the time, is that let's say you just started out with GBL today, like let's say today, first set, and you just lost the first set like horribly. So 2 questions. One is, would you change your team, or you still continue on with the team? That's the first question. The second question, let's say if you keep losing, like you lost first like 1-4, the second to 2-3, do you keep continuing or just stop for that day? So that's the second part of the question.
Well, if you're just starting, it depends. Like if you got your team from just picking 3 random Pokemon in your box, yeah, maybe you should change your team. Maybe do some extra research and change your team. What I do if I lose multiple sets in a row, I try to look at why I lost. I had, for example, today I used the Snorlax Garchomp Medicals line for the first time, and I lost my first 2 sets 2-3. So not that bad, but not great either. But I realized that I lost at least 3 or 4 matches due to misplays on my end. So it's not a team issue, it's just an issue with my play, which I can improve. So in that case, it's not necessary to change your lineup.
So that's a good point. So you said you did 2-3, 2-3, 2 times, right? And then you had 3 more sets to go?
Yeah, exactly.
And then how did you do for the rest of the set? Because I assume you learned from your mistakes, right?
I went 5-0 my 3rd set.
Look at that. So that's I wanted to just find out, because lots of people would do 2 bad sets and they would just quit for that day and then say, this is crap, this team is not working. But you made it a really good point by saying that I look at why I lost. And most of the time, if it's misplay, then I have to sit down, fix it, and then go back to it with the same team. So that was, I think if anybody listened to this podcast, that's like the #1 thing takeaway that need to take away, and they will improve their PvP like so much. So thank you for that.
I think one thing I can add to that is that it really helps if you record your battles. It's pretty hard to, especially if you're a new player and you're in the battle, it's really hard to battle and also like see what you did wrong. So see where you went wrong. So if you record your battles, you can go back, watch, and see if it's if you misplayed or if it's a team issue. That really helps.
Just like any other sport, it's like when you watch NFL players, NHL players, or all the big sport teams, they watch tapes, they watch how they did, what they played, and how they could improve. Boxing, huge thing. Same here. I know this is just a game, most people would say, but I mean, you're pretty serious about it, and so many people are getting so crazy about losing, so might as well do this little thing to able to improve, just like you said.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Is there anything else that you would like to say or address, or any announcements you may have, or anything cool happening, anything whatsoever that you want to share with us before we wrap this up?
No, I think we said everything. I already plugged my stream, so I just want to thank you for having me on, and thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you so much for coming on, and I will make sure that everybody who's listening and watching will go check out your stream. Thank you guys, and I will see you till the next time.